Thank you. It is 5:02. Now to our Election Day coverage. In just over an hour, the polls will open and all eyes are on Ohio.
And two big issues are on the ballot, along with a number of local levies and races. So we kick off our team coverage this morning with Carmen Blackwell covering issue 1. Carmen, good morning.
Good morning, Dave and Maureen. That's right. We know that this is a really big election for our state with some big stuff on the ballot here. And that includes issue 1, the proposal to protect individual rights to reproductive medical treatments like abortion in the state constitution. Now, if passed, that means abortions would be allowed through fetal viability between 22 to 24 weeks. That also allows for doctors to perform abortions to protect a pregnant patient's life or health. And once these rights are embedded into our state's constitution, it becomes very hard and almost impossible to change them. Now, what is Ohio's current abortion law in place right now? That would be the 6-week heartbeat bill, which was passed by state lawmakers, but it's been on hold due to litigation. Now, we know this is a really big election with all eyes on Ohio, as you just mentioned. We know that today's election results could also influence more conversation about abortion in next year's presidential race. We'll have more on that coming up in our next half hour. But for now, continuing our team coverage this morning for Election Day, we now bring it on to issue 2 with Kiara Cotton. Kiara, good morning.
Good morning, Carmen. As you mentioned, 2 statewide issues that Ohioans will vote on today. But again, as you mentioned, I'm going to be talking about issue 2, which focuses on the legalization of recreational marijuana. It's been a hot topic discussion for years, and today Ohioans will take to the polls to decide the fate of that measure. But to keep you informed, here are 3 things to note about the issue. Now, if passed, under the current proposal, there will be a limited number of licenses available in Ohio. Under that current proposal, 350 licensed shops could be available, but none would be allowed within 500 feet of schools, churches, parks, and playgrounds. And when it comes to taxes, marijuana would be taxed 10% in addition to state and local taxes. And last but certainly not least, if passed, Ohio would become the 25th state to legalize marijuana. And while the law would go into effect 30 days after the election, you probably won't see pot for sale until fall of 2024. Now, again, 2 statewide issues on the ballot today, both issue 1 and issue 2. But there are a number of schools that have levies and bonds on the ballot. And for that, we're going to turn our team coverage over to Austin.
Yeah, hey, good morning to you, Kiara. We're going to be highlighting 4 of the major school districts that are having levies on their ballot. Take a look at your screen right now. We're going to be starting off in North Ridgeville, where they're looking at passing a major issue here today, which is issue 16. If passed, the ballot measure will provide more than $143 million for the construction of a new high school, an attached auditorium, plus a transportation center. Then in Avon Lake, they are looking to build 2 new, bigger elementary schools there, also a new middle school, and renovate the high school. In Bedford, a proposed $161 million issue is on the ballot as well. If passed, the funding will be repaid over the course of 36 years. The money will go towards constructing, renovating, remodeling, and improving school districts. Then in Shaker, this one's kind of hotly contested right now, a $6.4 million bond, a $500,000 tax issue, and a $3 million continuing levy is on the ballot for renovations for that school district. That number has brought mixed feelings from the community, including from resident Helen Sheehan.
Shaker Heights school district has the highest tax rate in the state. For people who are on fixed incomes, renters, people who really want to be in Shaker Heights are either going to be pushed out, and it's also going to keep people from moving in that are the middle class.
Yeah, definitely a tough issue for voters and residents as well when considering this. But Shaker superintendent says that number of residents is going to be paying is about $296 for every $100,000 that they'll see end up in their taxes. But for a full list of all the school levy rundowns, you can head to our website, WKYC.com. Dave?
All right, a lot on the line for local schools. Austin, thanks for breaking it down for us. We'll see you in just a moment. And remember, 3 News will have continuing coverage of the election today with up-to-the-minute results both on air and online at WKYC.com.